judges like the back shot that I put up a couple months ago. Or yeah, not a couple months ago, but like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it's coming.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's crazy because I never saw myself as a bodybuilder. Not like, nah, I can definitely say I was running from this shit for a long time. I had motherfuckers telling me, bro, you need to get into the sport of bodybuilding. You fucking look amazing. You're back this, you're back that. Man, that shit ain't for me. Like not like that. I just thought it was a little too much to be on stage with them little ass shorts.
I agree.
Like, honestly,
Well, not even that. Oh,
but now the respect that I have for it is like
someone laid a nice dookie.
Oh yeah, I'm glad it ain't Kobe. Kobe don't do shit like that.
What I was gonna say is, what were you saying? Oh, getting into the sport. Yeah, no, like, I agree with you to a certain extent. Like, the thing that always prevented me was, I just didn't like the size.
Yeah, me, it was more just like being uncomfortable upstairs with them shorts on. But now, like, I've always been a confident person, so I've like understood that if a person can get on stage, whether they look appealing to the public's eye or to themselves, that shows a lot of fucking confidence in oneself.
Yeah.
Like, personally, to me, like,
Yeah.
it's people that's losing 300-400 pounds and getting up on that stage, and motherfuckers, those people are the people that will never take their shirts off, and now they're on stage in front of a crowd of 1,000 people. That says a lot about that person to me.
I agree.
I can't wait to see what my dog AJ look like, bro. Summer Shred 2025.
All right.
I think he gonna kill it.
How do you know him?
He actually shit. When I tell you, bro, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Look, listen to me. It's coming. It's coming no matter what. I've never stood in the way of a person from getting in front of me, taking the lead or anything, but the way shit has happened for me organically, without me asking, just me doing the work. That's another person that seen me on the page at DMF, seen Coach fucking with me. He liked what I was putting off, hopped in my DMs. Hey, bro, what's up? And it's like, I actually fuck with him. Like, I don't know why he fucks with me, but I respect what he got going on. You know, he used to, he'll tell you he's a recovering alcoholic. He's on his little health regimen now, so now he cooks and does all these other things to like keep his mind off of this shit that that was taking him away from what he wanted to be type shit. But the dude is a dope person, and I'm like, he wants to collab the next time we come out here. He's actually, remember that little thing he wants to cook for us when we got back. He has to go to Chicago for, I think, like a consultation for a surgery or something like that. I think he said. So he said when we get back out here the next time he'll do that or whatever. But he's always like in LA, and last time he was in LA before we actually came out here, the day we came out here, he was out there and he was texting me, hey bro, you in LA? And I'm like, damn bro, I'm actually getting ready to go to out to Indio. He's like, okay, no worries, I'll be out there in a couple of days. But he was hitting me up because he wants to do collabs with me. So it's like that's dope because it just helps us get to where we trying to go. He already has a dope ass following, so if we can get his following to engage with what we got going on, that's a win.
I agree. Yeah, a lot of collabs in the future.
Yeah, I can't wait to get on Jubilee.
Yeah, that'll be great.
That's what I can't wait to get on. I can't wait to get on Jubilee. That's gonna. I already had somebody ask me the other day, hey bro, were you on Jubilee? I'm like, bro, somebody is already speaking this shit into existence. Like, I'm like, no, but what's so fucking crazy is I just got a fucking DM from them that tell me that I showed him the DM. He's like, bro, that's fucking crazy. He's like, but you've been on a YouTube thing before, right? I'm like, yeah, I've been on a little on David Outreach. Oh yeah, that's what it was, blah 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 blah. But I'm just like, bro, that's crazy that you said that actual, like, it could have been anybody else's fucking production little company, but you said that one. I'm like, okay, it's meant for me to fucking work with them, bro.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. God's working. He's doing his big one for me right now, and I'm thankful.
And it's gonna be great because every time you show up on someone else's platform, it just furthers the narrative, you know.
Nah, for sure, for sure. Wonder where these paper towels are at. You wouldn't happen to know where the paper towels are at?
No. No, I don't. Gotta be somewhere.
Like, man. But yeah, bro. Shit is crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Life is truly what you make it.
That's true.
That's one thing I can tell you, boy. Out of all this, out of the experience that I've got from all of this, that's why I've been telling all the kids that I coach, all of them, every single last one of them, find something that you love to do and do that shit relentlessly. I don't give a fuck what it is. You want to be the best cook. You want to be the best mechanic, best fucking computer salesman. Whatever you choose to do that shit relentlessly. It's gonna be motherfuckers in your corner that you think that's your friends, family, whatever you call them. They gonna hate, they gonna doubt you. Some of them gonna tell you, oh, that's a dumb idea. Some of them ain't gonna even say that, but they gonna think it to themselves. But you just believe in you. Cause that's all that's all that really matters at the end of the day. It's shit, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna even be your parents sometimes in certain circumstances that's not even gonna believe in you. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that should be more of a reason for you to even push harder to get where you want to go and where you're trying to be and who you're trying to be. You know, everybody comes from a struggle, and I understand that. I come from a struggle. Let's be honest. But one thing I've learned to overcome as I've become older is I don't allow the circumstances of life and where I've been through and what I've been through to control where I'm going. Because that's the dumbest way to look at life, in my perspective.
Yeah.
You lose so much value out of life, living your life in past presence, because you're so focused on the shit that you didn't have or what you should have had or did or did. You ain't focused on what you supposed to be getting right now.
I always think about the concept, you know, as kids, we're allowed to have like the loftiest dreams. You know, it's like I want to be an astronaut, I want to be president and shit like that. And then as you get older,
that shit just dumps down.
Yeah.
It should even get higher.
Yeah, I agree because you have a greater awareness as to what your capabilities are as opposed to a smaller awareness.
See, that also goes with what I was just saying. Find what you want to do. If you've been saying you wanted to be the president, you want to be a firefighter, a police officer, whatever the fuck it was, when you finally do get out of high school, pursue your first dream as a child.
Yep.
Pursue it.
Yep.
Until you can't no more.
Yep.
And hey, and I'm not gonna lie to you, like it's going to be a lot of things that's going to change in the course of your life from the time you're in high school, from college and adulthood and stuff like that. Like, for instance, I've been to college. I've worked in the plumbing field. I've been married. I've done a lot of stuff. I've had to change jobs here and there, career changes here and there. But all in all, I've like stayed true to myself through it all. The biggest thing for me over the last few years was going through that divorce. I feel like that's when I was actually able to find more of myself, because I was stuck looking in the mirror every day, trying to figure out how I got to this place, which was back at my parents' house. And, you know, ain't nothing wrong with being at your parents' house, at least not for me, but it wasn't at I think it was, what is that, 2019, I'm 32, I think I was going through a divorce at like 24, No, hell no. I was married at 23. I was going through a divorce at like 27, 28 or some shit like that. And when I tell you, it's funny how the world and society makes it to where they only care about what the woman goes through when a divorce happens. And that shit just like, to me, I to this day I still don't never understand that, because no matter what, I look back at that shit now and like there wasn't one person that ever asked me if I was okay.
Until your body changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like it's crazy to look back at that shit, because it's like I was really going through a lot. Like a lot.
You know, not to go in a different direction, but I actually did have a list of questions that I wanted to ask you, and I feel like now would be a good time.
What?
Are you down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Give me 1 sec, I'm pulling it up. Okay, great. This is perfect. All right, first question is, in your opinion, and this is for the kids. This specific question is for the kids. Other questions might not be. What does it take to be a star athlete?
Drive, determination, resilience, grind, relentless, passion for whatever game that you are trying to play, and being able to soak up knowledge, always being a student of the game. That's the biggest one. It's a lot of people, a lot of kids nowadays think they know it all because they've been pampered their whole life by their parents or family members saying that they're the great and shit like that, and that's all dope and shit. But as you get higher and higher towards your goal of being a professional athlete, the competition becomes the same level. So if you think all the shit that you've done your whole life, just getting pampered and blah, 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 doing mediocre training and shit like that, it's not going to get you nowhere once you get to where you're trying to go. Because everybody, those guys are busting their ass every day, 7 days a week. They're not stopping, because you always got to remember this. It's always somebody trying to take your spot. It's always somebody working harder than you. It's always somebody your height, your size, same speed, everything. But he might just be putting a little bit of extra time in it than you are, and he going to get a little bit more out of it than you are because he's actually putting in the work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How does it feel to know that every time you step on stage, you're making history as one of the leaders of this natural era?
That within itself is it's crazy just to even say that I'm a part of something like with history in the making. Like, to me, that's dope. So I would have to say, like, I look at it as an opportunity to shine a light on people that haven't been able to be in the spotlight for so long. You know, it's like a minority in the sport. So I'm just trying to shine a light on some people that show them that there's a different route. You know, this sport is contagious, and I feel like everybody should be able to be a part of it and feel the highest peak of it, you know, and be able to share all the success that this sport can bring. I don't feel like the enhanced counterpart should be able to take all the success from what this sport is, you know, like, shit, what we doing for the natural shit. I would love to see the special fucking Olympics. Motherfuckers in wheelchairs. I mean, aren't there already guys doing that? So like why isn't it a natural lane for us? So it's like,
yeah, absolutely. What is your concept of failure in relation to this project and movement?
As far as what?
What would failure look like, if it's even conceivable?
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't believe in failure, because every time you tell yourself you failed, you have a chance to understand what you did to fail and get better at it. Right. So there's never really a failure. There's a lesson to be learned. So whatever we don't learn the first time around, we get better at it.
For sure. What's your vision of your pinnacle of success within this sport and beyond?
I want to be known as one of the greatest posers. Trying to be up there with my dog, Mr. Melvin Anthony. You know what I'm saying? I told him when I first met him, you know, I was really blown away with his skill set and how he graced that stage. So I'm not a real big dancer or anything like that, but my presence on stage is bar none. So I'm gonna try to do something a little different, but still bring that same energy that he was able to bring. And I just want to be, you know, I want to be a pillar to the guys that's coming up behind me. You know, I want to be able to open up lanes for other naturals to come behind me and shit, take it even further than what me and you are planning to do. You know, that's really what it is for me. And shit, after the sport, after I'm done with the sport in a sense, shit, I'd love to have a gym. You know, maybe keep this shit going. I do actually train sports as far as basketball and mainly football, but speed and conditioning and stuff like that. So I'd love to open up maybe a bodybuilding sports complex with some speed and conditioning, like sports related training in it as well. That way, like, you know, I've never seen a gym that has that can touch every field. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to bring every lane of fitness in one gym together: powerlifting, bodybuilding, sports, and you know, sports conditioning, stuff like that. So that's a goal of mine.
Fuck yeah, great answer. What has it been like working with me as basically the partner in this whole thing? What has that been like throughout this past year?
It's been kind of crazy, and to say, like, not like in a bad way, but it's like to say that I just met you literally this time last year, and the connection, you know, not even on the weird gay shit, like we really like get each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. Like, I've never met somebody that I just met right off the back, and it's like, shit, we get into arguments. Motherfuckers that don't know us will look at us like, damn, they about to fight or they about to do something, like, and it'll never get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might actually think, like, I want to sock this nigga in his face or shit, and I might actually think that, but we never let that shit get further than what it's supposed to, and like, that's what I respect about our friendship, because I feel like we see how much value we bring to each other, but not only that, like, the mission that we set on is bigger than just us.
Great answer. If you look back at the beginning of this journey, how have you evolved as both an athlete and a leader in the sport?
Shit, I finally claimed my name.
Hell yeah.
Shit. I'm a leader for one, because that's just me in general. I've always been a leader. I've never been the type to follow. You can ask my parents. Like, I was the type of kid that, you know, when everybody was wearing all the high trendy fashion clothes back in the day, like, I'd take some of those clothes and punch some holes, and all the shit that people are doing nowadays, dragging little dribbles down them, putting holes and making them look tether. I was doing that shit at 14, 15. I was making my own shoes, customizing my own shoes, doing all that shit. So it's like, I've always been a leader, and to be able to be a leader of something that's going to revolutionize a sport that I'm in love with is pretty dope to say, because just by us doing this, I'm hoping, you know, that this may be what we'll be remembered for the rest of our bodybuilding career. Maybe not even just the posing, but maybe the fact that these two guys are the reason why natural bodybuilding has the spotlight that it has. And shit, who's to say that we don't become the Arnold Schwarzeneggers of the natural bodybuilding world?
That's I'm to say that we are.
You know
I'm to say that we are.
I know we are, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the plan, or that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. It'll be cool. I see like one of two things happening. Yeah, I always see one thing happening, and that's basically once natural bodybuilding gets to like the highest height.
Sorry, Pop. Sorry.
It'll be so cool to trace it all back to, you know, because we have the receipts, we've got the documentation, you know, moments like these. So 5 years, 10 years down the line, it's like, yo, how did this all start? Well, let's take a look.
Let's go back to the archives.
Exactly, and it's like, it's right there. What emotions are you feeling right now, knowing we're in peak week and so close to making a bigger impact in the movement?
Shit, I couldn't sleep last night. I checked in for the flight. I'm so ready to get the fuck out of here and go get this pro card. I have a lot of the judges and the production company of the Grand Prix, the Caribbean Grand Prix, like in my DMs asking me if I'm gonna be there. So that's exciting to me because to me it seems like I'm on the radar. And this is kind of like how it was for me going into the last show, our first show, the West Coast Classic. Some of the judges already knew us because of our team, DMF and stuff like that. Shout out to Coach and shit like that. So it gives us like, I don't know if it's an advantage or a disadvantage, but all the athletes do post on the pages and tag these companies and shit like that. So they see all the athletes that are planning on coming. But the fact that we have our coaches like intertwined with them as a sponsor of the show, of a lot of the NPC shows, is pretty dope because it just feel like it does not necessarily give us an upper hand, but it gives us a chance to be seen maybe a little bit more than some of these other athletes, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the fact that when they do hop on our page and see that we're natural, like that's the thing that I'm like, I know for a fact that they're on my page because I'm natural, like.
In what ways do you think our approach to this story will change perceptions of natural bodybuilding for people watching?
I feel like it's gonna take a while to change a lot of the perceptions around what natural bodybuilding is and what it can be. But once it's there, I feel like it may shift the sport.
I think so too, man.
Because to me, in my opinion, like if the NPC is already going that way, they've already announced it this year that we were doing this many shows and blah blah blah. It's going to get bigger.
Yep.
And it's only going to matter of time until people become stars off this natural circuit, and then the natural circuit takes off. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I agree. What about any sacrifices you've made this year that have shaped your path to being an elite competitor?
Say that again?
Any sacrifices that you think that you've made this year that have shaped your path to being an elite competitor?
Shit, going back into the trade field, getting a job just so I can support my habit of being a bodybuilder. A lot of shit, man. Mentally, wanting to be on a diet as long as we have and everything like that right there, it's easy, but it's not. I'm a person that comes from a background where I didn't eat too much, so I'm like happy to be on a diet and stuff like that, but that was always a challenge for me at first. And as we get deeper into the sport and the more mass is actually needed to compete at the top level, it's going to get harder, especially for a guy like me who has a hard time trying to eat a lot of food. So I'm a little interested to see that side of it, but the sacrifices that I've had to make now has like been really minimum as far as, anything else goes.
I get it. I relate to that. What would you say is the most valuable lesson you've taken from our partnership this past year? That's a good question.
Being patient and understanding somebody.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Being patient and understanding somebody, because it's like, I don't know. It's like sometimes I feel like we get each other more than we may should. And it's like, that's why the dynamic of what we got going on is it's gonna last beyond the bodybuilding shit.
All right. Oh, this is an easy one. What mindset do you carry into the gym every day that has helped you keep pushing through both physical and mental challenges?
Shit, I was always the littlest guy in the room. I still am. But when motherfuckers look at my physique, people's jaw drops. They get it all. So, say that one more time.
What mindset do you carry into the gym?
So the mindset that I have is like, I'm always trying to just best me. I've never been the guy that's focused on what other people look like. Like, there's always, like I said, I've always been the smallest guy in the room wherever I'm at. But I can guarantee you, even some of the biggest dudes couldn't go pound for pound for me because of my mindset. I'm relentless. I don't give up. Shit, I go blank in the gym sometimes. When I'm trying to get through a set, like I zone out, I black out in a sense where I don't know how to explain it, but shit, all I'm envisioning is a better life for me and my family. So half the time when I'm in that gym and I'm like really focused or turn into a demon, like you and coach would say, like, oh yeah, Valley didn't. I'm envisioning shit that I ain't never had before. This sport has opened up my eyes, and like I was watching we was watching John Brown the other day, Melvin's coach, our coach's coach. Some shit that he said just like it just hit home because it's like and another reason why I never really cared about bodybuilding is because shit, there wasn't really I never heard of it and having no money in it. The Olympics, shit like that, like shit that we as a black kid growing up in a poverty-stricken like environment growing up, and don't get me wrong, like I got parents that made shit happen, so don't get it fucked up. Like I had parents that was go-getters, so I always had everything I wanted and everything that I needed for sure. But as a kid, you grow up and you start to see, like, even though I got good shit, but the environment that you're around is not necessarily the best one. So it's like you start growing up mentally as a black kid in an environment trying to figure out and try to map your way out of this. So that's a different setup because I don't know if there's a lot of black kids coming up from where I come from that get a chance to look at life and just be a kid. We're not just being kids. We got to look at life at a different perspective because of everything that's going on around us. I'm in a household full of drugs. I'm in a house, I see gunshots. I see people getting killed. The cops beating up on. So it's like, how am I gonna get out of this? Fuck going to school. How am I gonna get some money today? So that's the mentality of a kid from where I come from, and I'm just thankful that my mentality was always trying to be better for myself. I understood the circumstances of what I guess you want to say society was making and building for young black men like me, but I wasn't allowing society to choose my path.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. What do you think the next big milestone is after this show?
The next big milestone after this show is going to the Ben Weider Naturals with my pro card, hopping on that fucking stage. Cause I know Lil Kendall gonna be there again, and that'll be my time to shine and show that little nigga what's the real deal. Cause
fuck yeah,
it's time to like start slapping some of these other naturals in their face.
Yes.
Cause in my perspective, y'all have done us a disservice by not being louder.
Yes.
So with that being said, I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing. If y'all like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But at the end of the day, you will have to see me.
A fucking man. How have your goals in natural bodybuilding expanded or shifted as we've pushed forward with this documentary?
Shit, when we first started, I didn't really know what we were doing or exactly the goal or anything like that. As we've gone along and as the talking continues, the talking gets better, if that makes sense. Like, the more you talk about it, and the more I talk about it, or the more we discuss about it, it's like the understanding about the project and what we're trying to do becomes more clear.
Becomes crystallized.
So it's like, that's really what it is. It's like, in the beginning, it's just an idea. And it's like an idea that it started with legs. It didn't start like just as an idea. It started with legs. But as we progressed, the legs became shit. We got arms. Now we got a fucking body. Now we got, so it's like, everything's there now. So
well said. That kind of is a good segue. What has surprised you the most about the process of building this movement and the response from the natural bodybuilding and fitness community?
Nothing.
Nothing surprised you?
Nothing. Because everything that I said was going to happen, and once I realized what we were doing was what it was, I knew it was going to happen. That's why I said earlier before we started asking these questions, find what you're going to do and push through until you can't no more. And that's what I've been doing. You can't do something for so long and never see results. It's not possible. The longer you do some shit, it might take a little bit of time. It might take a longer time than the next person. You might take 10 years to get there. It might have took him 2 years to get there. But the more consistent you are and not focusing on when other people's getting to that destination, focused on your journey and your destination mark, you'll get there.
I agree, because I was going to say, even if you suck at a thing, if you keep doing the thing that if you suck at it,
You'll become
you
great
get better. Yeah. That's great. How do you think we'll look back on this moment a year from now, 5 years?
This particular moment. Let me see. Shit, we're gonna look back at this year. I mean, at this moment, bro, like, I could probably cry once we get to where we going. I'd probably, like, I'm not an emotional person, but I am an emotional person because it's like I've been through a lot in my life. So like once I finally reach the pinnacle of success that I am building for myself in my mind, it's gonna be dope because I've been counted out my whole life in a sense. What I was supposed to be, who I'm supposed to grow up to be, and shit like that. I wasn't always the most well behaved kid. I was always one of the smartest, if not the smartest, but it wasn't always the most well behaved. And I feel like, again, shit, the background I come from, my mom had me when she was 16. Raised by my stepdad, who I love and adore, but you know, as a kid, you don't understand that shit. Shit, this ain't my dad growing up, like, you know, so until I became a man and trying to understand, this man took care of me my whole life. His name is Dante, my name is Deontay. You know what I'm saying? That is my dad. You know, I know my biological father too, but we don't have the best relationship over the last few months. We have, like, you know, mended the little stuff that we had going on. It wasn't due to me or anything like that, but I had to realize that the only way for me to be able to grow and get where I'm trying to go with this sport, with my life, or anything else, I gotta be able to let certain shit go. I'm not gonna hold on to hate just because a motherfucker did me wrong or anything like that. And I got to a point in my life where, like, I'm grown now, so all the excuses that I've tried to hold on to my biological father as a teenager, as a young adult and shit like that. Oh, he didn't do this, or he wasn't there, he wasn't that. It's like, it's old and played out now as a 32-year-old man, because it's like you can't keep making excuses on why somebody didn't do this or what somebody should have did for you, because it's like you have an opportunity now as a 32-year-old man to do whatever the fuck you want for yourself. If they didn't do it for you, go get it and do it for yourself. So all that excuses, oh, my mom or my dad, you're just wasting time on what you really can be for yourself. And I wasn't comfortable with continuing that path.
Those are my questions. I gotta pee. Good job.